Flowers with National Restaurant Consultants. Richard is giving me the helm today to do our helpful moment number 45. As always, we're joined by Brian Devine, owner of Cafe Fuel and Top Line Management. I just wanted to come to you today as the representative of National Restaurant Consultants to talk about an opportunity we had last Friday to do an interview with Councilmember Mark Stewart from the City of Chandler, Steve Chukri, Maricopa County Supervisor, District 2, and the 18-year standing president of the Arizona Restaurant Association, also the owner of Crust Restaurant Group. And we had just a roundtable for about 10-15 minutes about what's going on in the state of Arizona as far as reopening, what we're seeing from owners and operators, as well as trends from guests. And one of the things that really stood out to us was there are some folks that are really passionate about masks, and there are some folks that really want to see a smile. You know, we've been cooped up for a long time. And, you know, as restaurants are continuing to reopen and want to be safe, there's a lot of safeguards that are in place. But those of us that have been dining out for years, we miss that smiling face. We miss that bartender or that server that comes to the table and just really wants to see us. And I can't see that through your mask.
Yeah.
If I'm risky enough to go to the restaurant, I think I'm risky enough to see your smile. But what we are seeing is there are folks that would be turned off by that. So there's a lot of operators that are putting the signs up, you know, some of which are the ones that were produced by National Restaurant Consultants, that have been endorsed by multiple restaurant associations around. Or they're also putting up their own signs that says, listen, we're doing everything to keep you safe, but we're not going to wear masks in the dining room. And if that turns you off, we're kind of giving you the opportunity to kind of turn around and go somewhere else for right now. And we'd love to see you later. But they're being honest with their patrons before they get in and have an uncomfortable experience. Mm-hmm. And honestly, the data that we've received here in Arizona, there's only been a couple of folks that have broken the rules, and you know that has been steered the right direction. But for the most part, people are excited to get out. They're excited to be back in restaurants. We talked about this in the helpful moment a couple of weeks ago. We weren't sure what we were going to see in different environments or different municipalities. Well, I tell you, in Phoenix, people are excited to eat and they're excited to be out, and the operators are excited to have them to move the needle, and hopefully we set the standard for the rest of the country by being safe and clean and transparent. But again, being able to be in that round table with my esteemed colleagues and City Council member Mark Stewart was just really an honor. So we were happy to do that. With that being said, I'm going to pass it back to Brian for our marketing minute. And thanks for having us today.
Absolutely. Thanks, Jared. And thanks for filling us in on how things are going out there for you. And so today we're going to keep this really short, but we're going to piggyback on some of the things that Jared just talked about. And as a marketer, and that's pretty much all I do and think about, I always want you to be thinking about everything that you're doing and saying as a marketing event. And that means that if you are frustrated by maybe your area is still not open and you're not happy with it, I get it. You have every right to be frustrated and upset. But before you say anything about how upset you are and put that on social media or anywhere else, I want you to think of two things. Number one, are you saying things that are going to help your business? And number two, what is your market? What does your market look like? Because if you're in an area that is, let's say, heavily conservative, you're probably safe saying some of the things that are on your mind. And I'm basing this information on actual polling data. More conservative areas tend to be more conservative and more interested in kind of opening things up and quicker and being frustrated and wanting to hear your frustrations. If you're in an area that is less conservative, that is more on the liberal side, don't say those things because you're going to turn off 80+% of your population, of your market. And I'm bringing this up because we're seeing this happen right now, where people that are in an area that I know are not heavily weighted towards the more conservative side, and they are just letting all of their air out and they're politicizing their marketing. If they were in an area that was more conservative, that'd probably be good because you would be connecting with people and you would have people coming in on a regular basis that just love your ideas. But unfortunately, they're in an area that is not that way. And I'm concerned they're not going to make it. There's some of my favorite restaurants that are doing this, and I'm begging them to stop. And it's because what's happening is it's causing what we call a flame war, where you have this not conservative movement of people that are still afraid, and they want you to still be concerned and taking care of your staff and not complaining about these things. And they're starting to respond to the marketing that's being put out. And then the owner responds again. And so it just escalates and gets worse and worse. And then you have people saying, I'm never going to go to your restaurant again. Don't do that to yourself. Please. This is still marketing 101. Think about how it's going to affect your business in the long term. I know we're all frustrated. These are difficult times. Write it all down. Send it to Jared. And then don't put it anywhere else, right? Okay, Jared, you be okay with that.
I got it.
Yeah. Write it down and then burn it, but don't put it out for public consumption. It's not worth the risk, because if you're in a population where only 30-40% are going to agree with you, that is too many people that are not going to agree and are not necessarily going to come to your restaurant. I just don't want to see that happen. So let us help you get it all off your chest. Maybe we'll even do one of these live where you can come on and you can just air your dirty laundry and we'll delete it for you. Okay. Jared, any questions about that or any thoughts on your end?
No, I agree 100%. I mean, it's the old adage, when you're super upset, write an email, go to bed, wake up in the morning, reread it, delete it, start over again.
Right. Or send it to Jared.
And honestly, it's okay to be pissed off. It's not okay to tell everybody how upset you are.
Right.
That's
the gist of it. Yeah. Thanks for that, Jared. I appreciate it. That's all I had, Jared. If you want to wrap things up, I think we've covered everything for today.
I agree. And thank you guys for tuning in every week when we do these. And thanks for being a part of this. Thanks for being a part of this legacy company that we're trying to build. And we'll see you next time.
That's it for us. Bye for now.